Now, we may not be able to be in control of everything in life, but one thing we can be in control of is definitely our money. Hi there, my name is Mufaruma Zolze. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is episode 2 of my money series, and I'm so excited to tackle the concept of pay yourself first. What does this really mean, and how exactly do you pay yourself first? Does it mean that I must pay myself money? Does it mean that I must put my needs first? Does it mean that I must spoil myself? Now let's dig deeper into it. I was having a conversation with a dear friend of mine not so long ago, and she mentioned something quite interesting. She said your salary is actually not yours. Now this is something a lot of people may not know or realize. And as I was talking to her, I was like, she's absolutely right. Your salary is not yours. And what we don't realize is that your salary covers for your roof over your head, which is your rent or your bond, whatever it may be. It has to cover food. You need to eat. You're a human being. Your salary needs to cover transport to work. Sometimes your salary needs to cover medical expenses. Your salary needs to cover insurance. Your salary needs to cover a lot of things just to keep you going in life and to keep you moving. And what we don't actually realize or grasp is that this is not for you. It is just your needs. Your salary is there to cover a lot of things, and if you have kids, your salary is there to take care of your kids, to put them through school, to feed and clothe them, and your salary is not really for you. So the concept of pay yourself first is actually talking about saving and investing money. That is definitely where the concept of pay yourself first comes from, because do you only want to live for your rent, your transport, your food, your housing, your clothing, etc.? Some people are totally fine with that, but if you grasp the concept of pay yourself first, I think you can get a lot more out of life and not just be able to cover your monthly expenses, but to thrive, to have financial freedom, and not to just live paycheck to paycheck every single month, and a lot of the times coming up short every single month, which is happening to people out there. So today's video, I'm also going to be practically looking at how can we budget, because budgeting is actually, to me, understanding how to budget is going to help you to pay yourself first, which is save money or invest money. And this is why in today's video I am looking at how to actually draw a budget. So I have titled this video How to Budget 101, but we are actually looking at the concept of pay yourself first. And before I dive into how to budget, if you look at some of the benefits of paying yourself first, is that if you are stuck in the month to month, I need to pay rent, I need to eat, I need to go out, I need to dress nicely, you won't be able to do a lot for yourself, even if it's just simply saving money to go traveling, even if it's saving money to buy certain assets. So paying yourself first is not only looking at just saving money, it's also looking at investing money, and also looking at maybe your retirement and a lot of things. There's a lot of ways you can pay yourself first. There's a lot of ways to achieve financial freedom. For the next part of my video, I want to tackle how to budget. Often a lot we don't see cases where people show you how to budget, and a lot of the times people say budget, save, and nobody really tackles it. But I'm going to be tackling it using Microsoft Excel. You don't have to use Microsoft Excel. You can also use a pen and paper, or you can just go buy a book and literally call this book Personal Finances, or call it My Budget, whatever it is. I prefer to keep an Excel spreadsheet of my budget, and I feel like it helps me know where my money is going. So I think the concept of saving and paying yourself first has a lot to do with understanding where exactly is my money going, what do I do with my money, and how can I actually save from whatever I get every single month. I can save X amount, or I can invest X amount, or I can buy 10 months time I can afford to buy an asset cash. And it's actually possible if you plan. When you don't plan, you're planning to fail. This is something I strongly believe in. Now my Excel spreadsheet is open, And I'm now just going to say, how do we draw a budget? So to have a budget, let's create a character. We've got a character, her name is Lily. And Lily is a, let's say, 30-year-old young lady, and she does not have any kids, which makes it perfect for herself to actually save money because she doesn't have a lot of responsibilities as a lot of people have. Not to say that people that have kids can't save money. I think, to be realistic, saving money also has to do with how much money you actually earn. And let's say Lily is, so we have Lily, I'm just gonna say her name is Lily. She is 30 years old with no kids. And let's establish her income. Let's say after paying her tax, Lily needs 25,000 rand. Let's just put a 25,000 rand, just a random figure. And we are trying to see what Lily can achieve with her monthly net income of 25,000 rand. So Lily, let's say she is renting, okay? But actually, before we get to rent, before we get to her rent, if I was Lily, I'm literally just gonna say, you know what? 25,000 rand is quite a bit of money. Before I even pay my rent, I must pay myself first. So you see what just happened there? I almost went quickly to my expenses, and that's natural. We're human beings. We have a lot of things to pay for. We need a roof over our head, we need to eat, etc., etc. I almost went straight to paying rent, but no. Before you think of what you need to think of paying yourself first. You need to think of, what can I do for myself? And a lot of people out there recommend the 50-30-20 rule. That's a great rule. However, I feel that if you earn a little more, you could always pay a little more, because 50-30-20 does not look the same. 50-30-20 wouldn't work. It's not the same for someone who nets 5,000 rand, for example. To be realistic, it's not the same for someone who nets 10,000 rand, 100,000 rand, etc., etc., etc. I mean, Lily is going to put 7,000 rand and say this is her money. So she's gonna say, she's gonna call this savings. I'm just gonna call this savings slash investing. Let's say Lily manages to save 7,000 rand for the next 5 years. Just to put a picture, Lily will actually have 7,000 rand times 12. So in the first year, she'll have 84,000 rand. And after 5 years, this is going to be, after 5 years, she's going to have 420,000 rand. Now, 5 years may seem like a lot of time, but that's an amount of time that just goes like that. And there you actually see that it is possible to save money. And if she has actually been saving in an interest-bearing account, she could have, I'm sure, like 500,000 rand, or maybe she has invested it in shares. But also, I don't want to go too deep into that, because when we invest money, and also when we save money, or whenever we make any money decisions, it carries a lot of risk. Hence my disclaimer, I am not qualified to give anyone financial advice. I did study accounting, but I am not a certified financial advisor. Now, to go back to how to budget, now we're going back to Lily's budget, and we say that she nets 25,000 rand and then she has saved 7,000 rand. So now I have allocated her rent to be at least 5,000 rand. You know, she is a young lady, she is single, and she has no children, so she probably lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. And this could be rent, this could be a bond. The to rent or to buy story is a story for another day, and I'll try and tackle that one maybe on episode 4 or episode 5. Medical insurance, let's say Lily pays 1.5. Let's say her monthly groceries cost her 2,000 rand, and she's probably paying off her car for 4,000 rand. She might have black tax for 1,500 rand per month, and the black tax story I will cover in another day. I think as people of color and also as young people, black tax is something that actually is probably most of us's budget. And then she's now left with 4,000 rand, and at some point she's going to need fuel. So I tend to just also prefer to leave a certain amount of money as, and I call it spending money. So I think on 4,000 rand, she has enough money to say, look, if I need to go back to the shops to buy fresh ingredients, like, your milk, your fruit, your veggies, she can just take 500 rand. Maybe she spends 500 rand per week on fuel going to work, which sounds reasonable. And that means that with 4,000 rand, she's got at least 1,000 rand every single week spending money on whatever she may need or want, which also has to cover her entertainment, her clothing, etc. But because she's also saving money, like if she feels like this month I need to buy clothes, she could always use her savings. Or if she feels like this month I need to do something, etc. Like your budget can also be flexible, but when you actually look at trying to budget, it's actually very frustrating, because sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, I left this out, I left that out. But when you are more strict with yourself, you realize, look, this is actually doable. I believe it is very doable. And you can't, if you have a budget, the nice thing about it is you've already said to yourself, I am spending 2,000 rand on groceries. That's it. You're not going to go above and beyond that. If you already told yourself, I'm only spending 1.5 on black tax, you're not going to go above and beyond that. You've already set a boundary. And I think that's what budgeting does. It sets boundaries, and we need to have boundaries with our money. We also need to be strict with ourselves, with our money, and how we spend our money. And I believe this is how it can help you to pay yourself first, and also just to obtain that financial freedom. And if for whatever reason she gets to month end and she's out of money, she has her savings to fall back on. So this is why I find that budgeting is absolutely crucial and so helpful. I love you for watching all the time. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe. In episode 1, and also please check out episode 1, where I discussed some of the complicated situations that cause us not to be able to save money. And I'll catch you in my next episode 3, where I will be discussing something interesting, obviously, to do with money. I love you for watching always. Bye.